Hey, there we go. There we go. The Jets have just found their new defensive coordinator. It is Steve Wilks. Wilks is the new DC for the Jets. Now, look, is Wilks a top 5 defensive mastermind in football? No, he's not. But what he brings to the table is experience. Head coaching experience, play calling experience, experience running a system very similar to what Aaron Glenn ran in Detroit these past couple of seasons, right? A lot of man coverage, front 4 down linemen. This to me it's a rock solid hire. Again, is Steve Wilks a top 3 defensive coordinator in football? I don't think anyone would go that far, but this is just someone who's just going to be bringing a lot of knowledge to the game, a lot of knowledge to Aaron Glenn. And I think, he could also help Glenn off the field in specific situations, right? Maybe how to handle the media, how to handle some younger players coming in from college, because Wilks has coached at the collegiate level back for the Missouri Tigers a handful of years ago. I really feel as though Wilks is going to come in and say, hey, you know what, I got this. I could run your system. I can call plays. I could install the defense with Aaron Glenn, of course, because it's going to be his defensive system. And I'm not going to be overwhelmed. I'm not going to be pushed around. I'm not going to be, overwhelmed by the idea of having to call the defensive game. I feel like that's always where Wilks has shined the best, right? I remember when he took over as the interim head coach for the Carolina Panthers, there were a subset of Panthers fans and some Panthers players too that wanted Wilks to remain as the full-time head coach. Ends up not getting it. But in any case, a valuable, experienced, defensive-minded coach to come in and help alleviate some of the pressure off of Aaron Glenn's shoulders. I am completely on board with this hire, and I'm expecting big things from this defense, right? We get a lot of talent here. Will McDonald took a step. Quinnen Williams, beast. Quincy Williams. Gardner, Michael Carter. Jermaine Johnson coming back from the Achilles. Of course, we have some holes that we got to fill. Obviously, safety. Keep an eye on this name, Javon Holland from the Miami Dolphins. He is someone who I want the Jets to be all over when free agency hits. All over. Really excited about that potential signing. Very, very excited. But cornerback 2, another defensive tackle, D-line depth overall. How is this defense going to do against the run? We have a question mark there. It's been kind of a question mark. We have personnel question marks at that position. Steve Wilks' defenses throughout the years have kind of always struggled to stop the run. I think that's going to be really important. That should be a point of emphasis moving forward, especially when we get into the dog days of summer. Really just trying to iron out the run defense in practice because the Jets are going to be bringing a pretty young, talented offensive line to the mix, a young, talented running back room as well with all these different guys. So the Jets D-line has their work cut out for them. I can't wait to see how this defense looks, but I'm expecting it to be a lot more physical than we saw last season. I mean, man, we had guys shying away from contact. We had guys getting trucked over. Just countless. There were I want to say it was happening every single game. We had just, pass catchers, ball carriers just running right through our guys. Just like a hot knife and butter. And that just cannot happen. My favorite thing about football is defensive play, right? I love turnovers, forced fumbles, picks, sacks, big hits, just wrecking the offensive game plan, humiliating offensive linemen, getting in the backfield, wrapping up in open space. Watching safeties just fly down the hill, just kind of cut through all the noise, all the traffic, and just go, lay the ball carrier out. I love that stuff. I love when a defense can impact the game because I feel like, physicality can really, if you have a defense that's filled with hard hitters, you have a defense that is not scared. That alone is now on the minds of offensive players. And it might not be that much of an emphasis, a talking point or on the minds so much throughout the week in game preparation to play a team like the Jets here, assuming that they're going to be physical. But once that first drive is over, you got guys coming off the field saying, hey, this team is hitting. This team is no joke. They're not playing around here. And could that force a drop later in the game? Could that force maybe the quarterback's internal clock to speed up? Hey, I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit. Let me throw it away. Let me get down. Just small little stuff like that. I love that mental aspect of just being a physical defense. So, God, I hope we get back to just playing that stout level of defensive football that I'm so used to seeing from this Jets team. I freaking love it. But last season, non-existent. We need to get back to that to that level. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Steve Wilks, welcome to the squad, man. Pumped to have you. And as always, go Jets.